Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing us here. I ask that you bring a big joy of love through this whole room right now, and positivity. Love. And let's continue to grow together, and let's continue to do everything better and be better people and better humans.
Okay.
And
that's a sin.
And
let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of BS with Jake Paul. KSI, suck my nuts.
BS, bitches and shit.
What?
BS stands for bitches ain't shit.
Bitches ain't shit. That is not what it stands for. That's what it stands for
It stands
Julia.
for bitch, shut up.
The goal of this show is to have on some of the world's best athletes and just interview them, talk to them about what makes them tick. You see, we saw a gap in the industry where so many sports media hosts were above the age of 40. You know, who is talking to the younger generation about sports? We were basically sick and tired of these sports show hosts commenting, interviewing us when they have nothing to do with athletics. They don't know what it's like to be out in the field, to compete at such a high level. And that's why we're coming to you with BS with Jake Paul. I'm your host, Jake Paul, alongside of D-Cut. Let's go. Give it up for D-Cut.
Thank you, thank you.
Best friend, strength and conditioning coach, former NFL athlete.
I'm glad to be here, man. This is an honor. And look, we're gonna dig deep with these athletes. We're gonna take sports to another level, and we're gonna just really get to know these people, not shitting on them and not being fucking dickheads like most of these sports people do.
Another co-host here, my beloved girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, Julia Rose. Give it up for Julia Rose.
That is I. That is I.
She is a sports expert.
Expert.
An NFL analyst. And, well, she has nice boobs that you can see just above the desk, and that's the main reason why she's on the show. Let's be fucking honest.
Weren't you in the World Series? Wasn't she in the World Series?
And she is banned.
I was in the World Series.
She is banned by the MLB for flashing.
We're working on that. We're working on that.
We will be at the Marlins game next week. I'm going to be singing the national anthem, and we are trying to get Julia into the show. We have a bunch of amazing people in the audience helping out with this show. This is all part of my new company, Better. We are a sports betting company and online casino, and we will also be pumping out sports, media, content all the time, consistently, taking over the sports media landscape. What we're doing is we're going for the Stephen A. Smith.
Who's Stephen A. Smith?
Exactly. We're going for the Shannon Sharps. We're going for the Shaquille O'Neals. We're going for the Pat McAfees. This is a completely separate lane, and we plan on fucking this shit up, and I believe this will be the biggest sports show in the goddamn world. We have a special guest today, Devin Haney, the undisputed world champion. If he can win the next couple of fights, soon to be the face of boxing. And this is what we want to bring to you on a weekly, consistent basis. We are currently here in Miami, Florida, because, well, as you guys know, my fight between Hasim Rahman Jr. and I got canceled, unfortunately. This is my first time speaking to the public about really what had happened in depth. There's a lot of rumors going around. There's a lot of conspiracies. People are sort of left in the dark as to what really happened. And we're sort of going to break it down, but we were supposed to be fighting here in a couple of days, which is super unfortunate. I just have to go over some things because I'm pretty mad.
Woo!
I'm pretty pissed off.
Get mad.
Get mad.
That the fact that the people on the internet think that this fight was canceled because of ticket sales. They think, oh, you know, Jake was scared to fight. To me, that's absurd, okay? So I'm just going to break down some facts for you guys here. The ticket sales were at $1.5 million before the week of the fight, okay? You sell the most amount of tickets the week of the fight. To put it in perspective for you, One Direction, one of the biggest boy bands in the world, only sells $1 million when they go to Madison Square Garden. We were $500,000 above that before the week of the fight. My gross and average ticket sales are around $2 million. So we're on track to actually beat that. So the fact that you guys think this event's canceled because of ticket sales is hilarious.
It's BS.
It's BS.
It's BS with Jake Paul.
They believe anything.
Bullshit.
People believe anything, man. People believe anything.
Furthermore, the commission changing the fight to 205 pounds could have easily been my excuse out of this fight, right? It was originally contracted for 200 pounds. Hasim Rahman Jr. agreed to fight me. He said he would come down a weight. He can make the weight, no problem. He sent in a video to the commission because the commission were the ones that wanted to monitor the weight the whole entire time. They wanted to make sure that he was cutting the weight healthily and properly. He sent in a video where his team had the scale with a screwdriver.
What?
A screwdriver. He manipulated his weight, and he has even admitted to this.
My coach is standing right next to the scale with a screwdriver.
He was coming in at 235 pounds, but told the commission he was 216 pounds. So when they realized that he wasn't coming lower in weight, the commission changed the weight to 205 pounds. They said, okay, he can make 205 pounds in a healthy manner. My manager, Nikisa, calls me and goes, hey man, they want to change this to 205 pounds. You want to give him an extra 5-pound advantage? I sit there at the table and I go, man, I could beat this guy at 205. No problem. Let's keep it moving forward. If the ticket sales were the problem with this event, that would have easily been my excuse right then and there. Just say, oh, they want to change it to 205. No, I'm not doing it. The fact that people think that ticket sales were the reason this event was canceled is just another way of people trying to pull me down in the boxing world. I could give a fuck about selling out of arena. For me, I wanted to knock out a pro boxer. That's been the biggest criticism, is fight a pro boxer, take on a pro boxer. To me, that's all I cared about. People don't want to see me succeed in the sport of boxing, and it's really unfortunate because all I've tried to do is put money into the fighter's pocket. All I've tried to do is bring something different, a new audience into this sport. But a lot of people don't want to see me with this power because they're scared of me. They're scared of me exposing their narratives. They're scared of me exposing the shady people in boxing. Hasim Rahman Jr. and his whole team, shady. This whole situation is typical of fucking boxing. And this is where I get mad because boxing is so fucking shady. It's so dirty, so many lies. And I will do my best to always constantly come to you guys with the truth and with the facts, okay? Because boxing is shady as fuck. There's so much corruption inside of it. And this is another example of that. We have some texts. Here are the texts from Greg Cohen, like I said, to Nikisa, who is my manager. And basically what's happening here is Greg Cohen called Nikisa Saturday, 1 week before the fight, and said, hey, Hasim is not planning on making the weight. He is staying at 215 pounds. He's going to come into the weigh-in weighing 215 pounds to see what you guys do and how you guys react. And Greg, I will give Greg credit here. He was honest with us. So he says, Nikisa, unfortunately, I don't have good news. Please work with me, read the wording of the press release, as I think we both agree a coordinated effort is best. And then he says, anyways, it is what it is. Good luck. You guys dodged a bullet here. He says, I'm a fan of Jake's and wish him continued success as well. He's basically exposing the fact that they weren't going to come in on weight during fight week. Greg Cohen, his promoter, again says, regardless, the kid was milking himself, and I did the honorable thing and told you the truth. He told Nikisa the truth that they weren't going to come in at the proper weight. Most people would have waited to the day of the weigh-in. I don't play like that. So respect to Greg Cohen for basically exposing his own client, actually, and saying that they weren't planning on coming in at the proper weight. Now, a lot of people say, well, Jake, if you're such a badass, then why wouldn't you fight him at 215 pounds? I could beat Hasim Rahman Jr. at 215 pounds. I beat this dude's fucking ass for 5 rounds 2.5 years ago.
Let's go right here. Good work.
The sparring video that you just watched was him weighing around 230 pounds. It has nothing to do with me beating him at that weight. It has everything to do to set the precedent with my future opponents that in our negotiations, you can't fucking play with us. You can't just walk all over us. You can't dictate what weight you want to be. You can't dictate any of that shit. Man. We are the money.
Little boy.
We are the A side.
The cash cow. Little boy.
We're paying you.
You don't make no decisions.
You show up at the weight I fucking tell you to. And if I would have set the precedent to where my future opponents can just show up 35 pounds over. I weigh 190. So if I set a precedent that my opponents could just show up 35 pounds over, what does that say for future negotiations? People just think that they can walk all over us. And we are joined by special guest, Sugar Sean O'Malley, the homeboy, the fucking GOAT. Man, it's so good to have you.
Bantamweight, fucking legend, 15-1.
The UFC bantamweight champ. Is
Wait. D-Cut just said that you're 15-1. That's not true. He's 16-0.
Sorry, my fault. Pardon my body. Pardon my body.
Yo, he doesn't know.
I don't want no problems, bro.
He doesn't know.
Bro, I'm just going off of Google, bro.
Unaccurate.
No,
You looking up Google? Trusting
My
Google?
fault, my fault,
Yeah, he went on Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, and Google says that Andrew Tate gets ass, so
Yeah, that's
you can't trust Google.
I fought Big
You
Sean.
can't trust Google, man.
Andrew Tate says Andrew Tate gets ass. I don't even know.
I like him already.
Talk your shit. I just have to say, bro, Pedro Nunez pulled the biggest bitch move in all of UFC history. And Pedro, if you're watching this, you are fucking bitch made. I went out of my way to DM. I don't DM people. I DM'd him. I found his little shitty Instagram profile, and I said, "Yo, you are the biggest bitch in the world." Like, how do you feel after that, bro?
Right after, I was pretty emotional because obviously I want to go in there and put on a performance. I feel like I had 12 weeks of training, go in there and deliver a spectacular finish. And I had so many people out there. I was in the octagon looking around, all the people wearing merch. And for it to end like that, you know, in my eyes, that was a boring fight. Nothing really happened. I was starting to get his rhythm. I was starting to dot him up. I was looking for that finish. And he just robbed me of that moment. I didn't believe I poked him in the eye. My hands were up. If anything, I might have tapped his eye a little bit. Not enough to stop a fight. Michael Bisping fought with one eye. You know, at the end of the day, I'm fighting the number one contender now. I'm fighting Petr Yan. So UFC looked at it as a win. I looked at it as a win. I just got robbed at that moment.
No, I agree. And, bro, I feel like I'm so excited because I've been riding with you for a while now. And the one thing I see is that I feel like actually similar to my career is people like just are doubting you because of how quick you rose to fame. And they're not giving your skill actual credit. What do you say to the people who are like that? And what do you say to the people who are doubting and saying you're just hype and you just, you know, you have pink hair? Like, what do you say to those people?
Well, I mean, they are right. I am hype and I do have pink hair. So they're not wrong in a sense. The only thing they're lacking is the knowledge of my true skill set. For me, people are like, holy shit, you're fighting Petr Yan, the number one contender. And for me, it's like I've been training for 11 years. I've been training for this fight. Like, I've wanted to fight Petr for a couple of years. I believed in my skill set was ready to go for a couple of years. UFC just really wasn't offering me those top-level guys, which I was fine with at the moment because I wasn't getting paid to fight a top-level guy. I was getting paid to fight the guys I was fighting. I was fine with that because in my mind, if I'm as good as I say I am, I should be able to go out there and deliver the knockouts that I was delivering against the competition. So, you know, at the end of the day, everything, my career has played out perfect, and it's exciting. It's the first time I'm an underdog. So for me to go in and fight Petr Yan, it's kind of exciting. You know, I guess it really doesn't matter for me. I'm going to perform either way. But everyone's always expecting me to, you know, go out there and get a highlight finish. Now everyone's kind of expecting me to go out there and get worked by Petr Yan. Like, he's as good as everyone thinks he is. He beat Jose Aldo. He beat Aljo. He beat all these guys. So for me to go in there and put his lights out, really just, it blows me up to where I want to be.
No, 100%. And I know Peter is a great contender. I know he's a great opponent. He's a fucking animal. But we're all betting on you, man. Like, I just know you. You know, we've hung out together. I know your mindset, and we know you're gonna win. We're, you know, download Better, by the way, and yeah, bet on this guy because Sean is the future of the UFC. And what I love about it is people really tune into your fights. Like, that, Dana, put this guy as the fucking main event because I'm tuning in to watch him. You know, I turn the TV off after Sean fights, man. Get this guy, main event. He deserves it. He's the one that's making waves. He's the one. This kid is smart. And what we respect about your hustle is we see you. You're a CEO. You're more than just a fighter. You're on Twitch. You're doing YouTube videos. You're making content. You're hanging out with the right people. And that is what fighters need. And I just want to give you a round of applause because not a lot of fighters understand how to move the way that you're moving right now. It's super awesome to see, man. And I have a weird question, but whenever you're with your coach out in public, do people think he is Canelo?
Not so much in public. Every once in a while there'll be some random people, but on Instagram, everyone thinks he's Canelo. It's hilarious. But in public, I'd say once if we go to Miami or we go to LA or we go anywhere, at least one person will ask him if it's Canelo.
And do you guys run with it? Is he like, yeah, man, no problem, I'll take a picture with you? Does he go with it that he's Canelo, or is he like, no, fuck off?
Sometimes me and the boys will chirp him a little bit and say, no, that's Canelo, and take a picture with someone or something a little bit.
Julia has some questions about your relationship because everyone loves
Perfect
to talk
timing.
about it. There she is.
There she is. Oh, little sugar too.
Sugar too.
Let's hear your questions. Here, I might give Danny an AirPod so she can hear them too.
Biggest question on my mind is, your wife goes into labor and it's fight night. Where are you going, huh?
I mean, you gotta fight.
That's my fucking boy.
I wouldn't schedule a fight that close to labor. We didn't have anything scheduled. We knew about like couple months in between there that we weren't going to schedule anything. So
Julie and I are actually having conversations about like when to get pregnant.
wow.
So,
Congratulations on that. I guess that would be the first step. Elena was a complete accident for us.
I have a question because me and you are very similar where we like to go fucking crazy. Like, me and you have been off of certain substances and at an extreme level of not sobriety, basically, together, where we were doing reckless things. Like, we've never talked about this because we were both just fully sending it. Where do you draw the line where it's like, okay, we're jumping on top of the SLS sign, or now we're in training camp?
When I'm sending, there's not really a line. I like to push the boundaries and see how crazy I can get.
Cheers.
I think that's because the level of discipline I put into my camps. Like, I'm 12 weeks out, but we're not partying. I'm dialed in. I'm sober. There's a level of extreme discipline that when I'm partying, I have that same level, discipline to go hard. I have to go hard, but I can't not go hard. I honestly don't know how to sip a couple drinks. There's not a middle ground for me. It's either go hard or go home.
That's literally how I am. It's like, if we're gonna drink, black out. If not, we're just fucking training or doing something, man. Who is your biggest rival right now? Because I seen the back and forth between you and Henry Cejudo. Is he the one?
He's fat. He's short. He's ugly. He's not even in the UFC anymore. I would say he's not my rival. My biggest rival, I would say, probably would be the Chito Vera fight. That's probably would be the biggest one. Not the biggest fight, but the biggest rival. The first fight went the way it went. That's one I'm going to get back eventually. I'd say the Chito Vera would be my biggest rival, if you wanted to call it that. But, me and Peter had a lot of good back and forths, and I'm really fucking excited about that one.
No, we're super excited, man, and we just appreciate you taking the time out of your day, man. So just keep killing it, and let us know if you need anything. But I'm here, bro, and I'll continue to support you, man.
Appreciate it. I was looking forward to your next fight. Obviously, that didn't work out. Top ramen. Couldn't quit eating the top ramen. That happened.
So good to see you.
Awesome. Peace, guys. Have a good one.
Peace out, man. Always good to talk to Sugar Sean. That's my brother from another mother. And we're excited to see him fight Petr Yan, man. I really think he's going to rise to the occasion and beat this guy. So we're excited for that Abu Dhabi fight in October. It's looking like I might be fighting in October, so we're going to be bringing you guys a lot of content.
Don't let this
Yo, get
cool
the shot
beach.
of this, Gus.
It's leaking out the back.
We have an ice pack on the bottom of this laptop so it doesn't overheat.
Y'all think we
I
get
don't
the
know.
ocean
Yo,
breeze?
who the fuck scheduled this episode outside? Was it you, Strasser? Who was it?
It was you.
It was me?
Yes.
I don't remember this.
You're like, we can do outside. We can do outside.
We should do the next episodes indoors. We are joined by one of boxing's biggest fighters, the undisputed champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney. Let's give it up for him, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
You literally did the greatest accomplishment in the sport of boxing. Like, what happens after that? Like, where's your mindset been?
I don't know. Like, it's been like a little bit different this time around because like I'm still hungry. Like I still feel like, I know that I still have a lot more to prove. I want to like enjoy my downtime and rest and recover, but I also want to get back in the lab and work and perfect and get even better because I know that, it's going to be guys, even more guys out there that want my head.
That should be inspiration for everyone watching. This guy won in Australia, flew back to the United States and was fucking jogging in 105-degree Las Vegas heat 3 days later. This is the definition of what it is to be a champion. There's going to be documentaries about this kid one day, and we get to talk to him live. Congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
Thank
Are
you.
you the type that does push-ups when you're on like vacation? Like Jake, for instance, even when he's not
Oh,
on
yeah.
vacation, I'll walk outside. He's doing push-ups and drills, and I'm like, what are you doing? Relax.
Nah, it's just like how we are, just mentally. Like we have fun, but we can't have too much fun. And whenever I'm on vacation, I try to do anything that I can. If I see something, I start doing some pull-ups. I do push-ups. I fucking do some jumping jacks if I need to.
Oh God, antsy, just that work ethic is there.
Yeah.
It's embedded in you.
That's what people don't realize, like what a champion's mindset is, because it's always within you. The fight got canceled for me the other night. Saturday, it got canceled, and I already had a practice that day. And at night, I'll splice in the clip here into the edit. I'm running. Cancel the fight. No problem. We still out here. I'm hitting my 3 miles regardless, even if the fight is canceled.
For sure. It's like you got it. It's either you got it or you don't. I think it's just you got to be like, it got to be installed and you can't just like pick that up. It's just a champion mentality.
No, literally, it's like being like psychotic or some shit. I know you feel it. I know you know what you're saying. But what's crazy though is even years ago, I remember we were hanging out and you didn't take a sip of alcohol. This was before you were world champion. So where does that laser focus come from? Like, because I think a lot of people watching this are athletes. We want to inspire the next generation of athletes. Where does that laser focus come from? And how do you have that control? Because it's so easy to pick up the drink and sip it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Like when it's all said and done, I want to be mentioned with the greats. I want to be like my name to live on forever. So it's like, I want to be different. I want to do what everyone else couldn't do. Like, you know, I want to work hard, but I want to also have the discipline that, you know, some of the greats or some of the people who work just as hard as me, they don't have that extra discipline that I have. And so that's what just pretty much pushes me and keeps me like, you know, grounded and knowing that, you may work hard, you may have this, but I'm gonna do the extra that you want.
Yo, like we all know Tank gets drunk. He has a like hit and run charge for getting drunk and shit. Like I don't want to accuse people of shit. Like other people in your weight class be getting drunk and shit. And you were the only one that I met that was just so laser focused. And I think that's come to show in your career. Like, what do you say to those guys like Gervonta and Ryan Garcia who are watching right now and are like, hey man, they're picking up the bottle, but you're not.
You know what I tell them? I tell them to keep drinking. Drink more. Drink more. I'll send them a few bottles if I see them out in the club or
something. Hey, 42 to Brian Tate. 42 to Brian Tate.
And everyone knows I'm boys with Ryan, but I gotta be real on the show. Like we could be friends. I'm just gonna keep it honest on the show. And by the way, I'm on the side of I drink after my fights. Like I get fucked up. For me, it's like a reset. I charge my soul back up to get into the training camp. Maybe like who knows what the reasoning is for it.
I mean, everybody has vices. Like that's just life, you know. But you know, you just gotta control them.
What's your vice?
If it's not drinking.
I like to eat.
You and India have a dope ass relationship, right? Me and Julia. And like we go through so much pressure together. These fights is not easy. Like, you know that. People just think we show up, get the job done, like light work. No, this is like fucking mentally taxing.
For sure.
I've been in my shower. The first Tyron Woodley fight, I was like, God damn, I'm going up against a UFC champion. I was literally crying in my shower 2 weeks before the fight because the pressure was like really fucking with me. So I guess my question is like, what's it like to have that partner with India, like holding you down, and how important is that to you?
I mean, it's amazing, you know, to have India here, that here with me every step of the way. You know, she's very like supportive. She's very like, you know, she's there for me, whatever I need mentally, physically. So, she's definitely my backbone, and I appreciate her.
So when we were talking about the vices, is one of them sex? Like, are y'all freaks? Like, we want to know the normal side of things.
Yeah, of course.
Is India allowed in camp leading up to the fight?
Yeah, she's allowed. She's allowed in camp. You know, certain days she can come in to camp for a few days and then she goes home.
That's all. I get booted the last 2 weeks. It's no sex. Y'all do the no sex 2 weeks before the fight?
Yeah. No sex. Yeah, no sex. We don't do no sex.
I'm not alone.
Oh, whatever.
I'm not alone. Where is your skill level at, right? Because you made George Kambosos look like an easy opponent, who, by the way, everyone watching, George is a fucking animal, went toe-to-toe with Teofimo. It's kind of scary to think about where your skill level is at, all things considered. Like, how good is Devon Haney? Don't be humble.
I feel like my IQ, my skills are just on a totally different level. And like, that's why they say, oh, he hasn't fought anybody, or when he fights this person, it's going to be something totally different. No, my skill level is like, my IQ is just on a whole nother level. And I make these guys look average, and I will continue to keep doing that because I'm just on a different level. Like mentally, like I may not be the fastest, I may not be the strongest. My IQ is on a whole nother level to where I make these guys look ordinary.
We've heard that you sort of do a system where you try to work with a lot of different people throughout your camp. Is that true? Or
yeah.
You try to take bits and pieces, right? Can you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, one coach may be for working the body. Some coaches may be like, you know, use my defense. One coach may be for, letting my hands go, using my combination speed. I got different coaches for different things. And just like football, they got like different coaches. They got offensive coordinator, coordinator. I don't know names for them, but different things. They got different coaches for different things. And coach may be good for me using my jab. A coach may be good for me using my right hand. Just different things. And they all bring the best out of me.
I love that. I think I might start to implement that method.
You should.
Like, clearly it's working for you. It makes a ton of sense for me. And everyone watching at home, it's honestly like super, super interesting because Devin right now is breaking the traditional mold of having one coach. That's super fucking interesting. So a lot of people don't know this, but you beat Ryan Garcia in the amateurs.
Yeah.
What would happen now?
I do feel like Ryan has got better since the amateurs, but I don't feel like he got that much better. I feel like Ryan is still like, he has the same style. He does a lot of this. He makes a lot of the same mistakes. So it won't be no different than the amateurs. I think it'd be much easier than it was in the amateurs. In the amateurs, we were like very competitive. We would go back and forth. But now, I see Ryan, he just makes a lot of mistakes. It won't, I don't feel like it would be a close fight with us.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I think obviously from my point of view, it's like Ryan has that one punch power. And so I think if you were in the way of that, it would be rough. But the thing is that you're not in the way of that because your technique and your speed is so advanced.
What I just feel like, okay, you banking on one big shot, one big punch. What if you don't land that punch? What if you just cannot, you can't just rely on one punch and think that you're going to beat Devin Haney because I have too many tools. Power, that's one thing. Like, that's one thing that you do good.
I love it.
And that's all I got to stay away from is whatever your best attribute with power, whatever, that's all you banking on. You will never beat me that way.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit. I love it.
You got 4 belts. You beating everybody. Obviously, you got the goal to beat these guys and get in the ring with these guys, get those dubs. But other than that, what other aspirations you got outside of the ring?
I'm really like, since a little kid, I always like been dedicated to the sport of boxing. Like, boxing was all I knew. Like, at a young age, I dropped out of school. I did everything like to dedicate myself to boxing. Like, I never like went to like school dances. I never did like had like a super big social life growing up because I always just like was in the gyms, like always been like a student of the game. So like I never even like had time to even like do anything else. Like I'm not good at anything else but boxing. Like I'm mediocre at basketball. I'm mediocre at basketball. I can't dance, can't rap, but I can't do other sports. But when it comes to this boxing, I can do this.
Now you're first of all, you're good at dressing, you're good at swag, and you're good at you're good at a bunch of shit. But wait, this brings me to
I'm talking about like elite. Like,
no, I know what you mean.
When it comes to boxing. Like of course I can go play Call of Duty right now and go kill somebody, but
you're being humble. No, we fuck with that. But this brings me to a very interesting point because KSI tweeted me the other day and he said, all of your eggs are in one basket. And I say, okay, wait, so I have a plan A but no plan B. First of all, that's not untrue. Like, we just launched a company that is already valued at dollars. Better is filming us right now. We raised $50 million. BS with Jake Paul. You know what's up. MVP, most valuable promotion, signing fighters. Yeah. I suck my nuts. But he said you put all your eggs in one basket. And the funny thing about this is like, yeah, you're right. The biggest thing we have said in our camp, and BJ Flores came up with this. He said, burn the ships. There was an ancient warrior tribe who sailed their ships across the ocean. And once they got to the land that they were trying to take over, once they got to the land that they were trying to take over, they poured gas on their ships and burned them because there was no going back. We've always relied on plan A. I'm going to win. I'm going to fuck these dudes up. And plan A and putting all my eggs in one basket has made me 10 times more money than you, KSI. And Devon Haney has just agreed with this. Motherfucker doesn't plan on losing. Motherfucker isn't going to lose. 28-0. We got eggs in one motherfucking basket. And guess what? It's Easter, bitch. And things are looking bright. My bank account is on fire. I debate. I debate about which car I should buy on a daily basis. KSI debates on which laugh challenge video he should upload on a daily basis. So yeah, KSI, We putting our eggs in one motherfucking basket. Me and Devin Haney, you know what the fuck time it is. I don't even know if he don't like you, whatever. I'm keeping him out of this. Motherfuckers putting our eggs in one basket and suck our nuts.
Nah, for real. Nah, that's real right there. Like, it ain't no plan B, nothing. Like, I knew that when I was doing this shit that I was gonna make it. Like, it was never like no question. Like, nah, it's when I'm gonna do something else for it, because I know I'm gonna make it in boxing and I'm gonna be the best.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna stop until my name be mentioned with the greats. So.
Exactly. KSI is the type of people where it's like, all right, I'm gonna box, but I have a backup plan. If you have a backup plan, then you're gonna fucking lose because you're already thinking about losing, motherfucker. All right, we're about to get you out of here, but we're gonna do a little rapid fire. All right, so just a couple of questions. Who is your greatest athlete of all time?
I mean, I'm gonna go with Floyd, obviously, just because he's undefeated. His work ethic is like can't nobody compare it to me, in my opinion. His discipline to the sport. So yeah, I gotta say Floyd.
Yeah, no, Floyd, we respect you, bro. I took your hat, but if you ask anyone in my camp, I always talk about how awesome you are and how legendary you are. So we respect Floyd on this side of things, and I know that you're scared to fight me as a real professional bout. I know you're scared to fight me as a real professional bout. Okay, favorite color?
Like black. I say black.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
I don't know. Like, I'm like a germaphobe. Like, I just don't like germs. Like, everything gotta be like clean, like around me, like everything.
Bro, I'm the same way. I'd be fist bumping everyone. I always have Purell on standby. All right.
Monkeypox just came out, man. So
Fuck that shit. We out. Oh, monkeypox. What's your favorite food when you're not in camp?
Probably like chicken wings. I eat like chicken wings, lamb chops.
All right. What's your secret hobby? For me, a lot of people don't know I collect seashells.
I don't know. I just be like shopping, traveling. That's like my type vibe.
I love it.
You don't play no duty? You don't play no duty?
I used to, but I don't.
He's the undisputed champ.
All right.
Nah, and I used to play Call of Duty. I just don't like. I don't know. Like, everybody was better than me. I hate to lose. Like, I hate being like the third best guy. So I don't play.
All right. Who's your idol?
Like, dead or alive, just idol. That's
anyone,
my
yeah, anyone.
Muhammad Ali.
Woo, same here, man. That's crazy. Okay, fire. He's the GOAT, man. Last one. Favorite musical artist?
I said probably Lil Durk.
Lil Durk, fire. Man, alrighty. Well, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you coming on. Keep on killing it. We're looking forward to your fight with Kambosos. We know you got great things in store. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the face of boxing right now. Let's go.
Thank you, bro.
All right,
I appreciate you, Jake. All right. Hey, I'm gonna hit you up when I come to Miami.
All right, yeah, I'll see you in a couple of days, bro. We out here. Let's give it up.
Hey, let's go.
First episode with BS with Jake Paul. We got two of the best fighters in the world. Stop fucking playing with us. We coming for all the next of all of these sports shows. Man, we got a content house coming soon. We getting fucked up. I'm off this vodka right now. My fight is coming soon. I'm planning a fight in October. Stop playing with us.
Stop playing with it.
This is it. This is better.
Hey.
Sports just got better. BS with Jake Paul, episode 1. That's a motherfucking wrap.
Yes, sir. Bitch, stop playing with me, bitch.